going on, everybody? It's PapaStones coming back with another video. So today I just wanted to go over the 5 decks that I've been toying around with, testing out, enjoying from the new set. Most of them are new leaders. There's only one here that's an older leader, but basically I just wanted to include some stuff that's coming out with the new set. So we're going to jump right into it. I got Anakin Yellow. Anakin's sweet because I think he can be very flexible in the color pattern he plays. But me personally, I've enjoyed this yellow list. Basically more as like a mid-range deck and just getting value trades. Like Anakin's Interceptor is the only 2-drop that has less than 4 health, but you also got the 3 R2s, the 3 favorable delegates, and the 2 Headhunter Squadron. So you can play any of these on turn 1 and use Anakin's ability to deal 2 to yourself and get a value trade. These 2 also help you dig for... Now there are 2 of them, so you could possibly slam one of those down onto one of your Anakins or your Plo Koons. Other notable mentions from this deck specifically was running Spare the Target just as a bounce, because it is heroism and there are times where collecting bounties is okay, I guess, right? It's basically just Waylay, but could maybe switch it to Waylay in case you need like a Falcon kill, but never really seems that viable. Saw Gerrera, if it gets to come down in a decent state, it's kind of a house, right? It's a good card. Emphis Nest is crazy, especially in this, because with Anakin ability, you're basically bouncing something that costs 6 or less or has 6 or less attack every time. If you can stick one of these in the later game, then you're probably already winning. The Resolutes are debatable. There are times where it comes down and it feels really nice. There are times where it immediately gets boarded out. You can get it for 5 at best. Realistically, you'll probably get it at like 7. And sometimes that's okay, like against decks that have a lot of the same synergies, like tokens, whatever. Dealing the damage is nice, and 8/8 in space is nice. But sideboards into more of a control option because I think it already deals pretty well with aggro. Basically sides into 6 hand control cards and 2 Stellas to find some hand control cards, and 2 crates because why not? Need more top end at that point. But I like this list a lot. It's pretty fun. Moving on though, I've got Krennic. This is my one non-new leader, so had to throw one in. I think Krennic got some decent tools to give it some viability, mainly in the lower drop department, right? You got Rune Hako, which can technically be okay, but realistically it's just a decent 3/2. And then there are some times where your units die and you can get a -1/-1 and it'll bail you out. Also, it got the Royal Guard Attache. I felt pretty bad when I played it at locals just because I ran into a Tarkentown deck, and this card is horrible against Tarkentown. Because other than that, though, it's really good, right? Because it comes out as a 3/3, but it's damaged, right? So they can just blast it with a Tarkentown and not have to do anything. So that kind of feels bad. But you got that, and then the other additions are the Grievous. I was only playing 2. Because, I mean, realistically, you want to ramp and you're hoping the Grievous comes off of a Darth Vader, more or less. Or just later in the game, but who knows. And then I went 3/2/1 on the top end. Snoke's just really good right now. And then Avenger and Devastator. It hasn't changed too much throughout the sets, right? But it did actually get some decent additions, I think. So there is this list. I'd keep an eye on it. Moving on though, speaking of, we have Jango Tarkentown. This one is honestly pretty crazy. I talked about it in my last video. I basically took a Boba Red list that I'd seen from set 2, threw it into this, and then made some tweaks to accommodate it being for Jango, because Jango's tap ability is really crazy in the sense that you can play cards that deal damage inherently, like it was already on ISB's Ruthless, and then the P38s are new, so that came in. and then you can just get free tap downs on stuff. So like you can almost outrace most aggro decks, and then it has a decent enough matchup because it's very space heavy. It might see some changes depending on if people start planning for space heavy decks, right? But yeah, so it's basically like new card wise. You've got, what do we got? We got the 2 breaking in. It's decent for like Bright Hopes. I know a lot of people are on that now. Concord Dawns if you need to push damage, but if it's that early in the game, you probably don't care that much. But it still gets +2 attack, so you might just run into it with the +2 attack. The breaking ins might go up, honestly, depending on if people start adjusting. But I mean, obviously, the house of this deck is triple dark raid. It is a triple dark raid deck. You can get this Lurking Tide to crazy things with this tie advanced. You can grab Ruthless Raiders and tap stuff down, do extra damage. You can grab Fire Sprays that are still live because Jango is still a Fett. So, yeah, this deck kind of terrifying, to be honest. I think it's good. I definitely would look out for it. Moving on, though. This is one I haven't actually done too much testing on, but I actually enjoyed it. It's someone else's list. It's a copy. Sorry, I don't have your name who made the list, but it's fun. Like, I don't know how competitively viable it is. I haven't tested it in that sense, right? But I think it's got some decent stuff here. I think this Agent Callus is actually kind of terrible, to be honest, but like a lot of the other cards in this list are really solid. Like, it does what Rex does. You know, you play, you know, a couple dudes and you play an Admiral Yularen, you can play a Shakti, you can play a Cody, and then flip your Rex and all your dudes have +2/+2, so you got 4/4 tokens coming out. Like, this deck can get out of hand really fast. It's definitely a cheaper version of a lot of competitive decks too. I mean, you are running the Ayalas and the home ones, but other than that, everything is relatively low rarity. So if you're looking for a budget option that's a fun one that could be decent, I forgot there's also 2 commands, sorry, or 3, but if you're looking for a more budget option, this isn't a bad one, and it's definitely fun. It's very aggro. But last but not least here, we got the one everybody's been toying with. It's Chancellor. This is the list I've kind of landed on that I enjoy. Everyone's lists, like the core of it, is obviously going to look the same. Who's on the blue version, right? Because you're playing the big stuff, the Lukes, the Supers, the Redemption. Don't even know if you need them sometimes, but they're there in case you do. The Snokes, the Avengers. Geonosis Patrol Fighter is actually really solid. Because, like, the biggest problem with this deck is once people learn it, they're going to start, like, abusing you in different ways. Because, like, you need your light side cards to die, right? Like, so they could technically just arena dodge you and never play a card on that side. Like, when I tested this, I tested into a Jango deck, right? A Tarkentown Jango. And I had a Queel, I dropped it down, it survived for 3 turns, right? That's when I added in some more space options. I was already playing Concord Dawns, but I didn't see them. I think Restored Arc was a decent swap, because I know a lot of lists were on another 3/2 ground unit. So Restored Arc is good here because you get to have a space option early on. And if they don't deal with it, you're at least getting Restore, so you're not getting beat up too much. And if they do play a space unit, you can trade in there. But the Geonosis Patrol Fighter, which is where this originally started, I kind of got on a tangent there. If you can't get your guy to die, they're just dodging you and you don't have an arc, you could sack off your own guy to play the Patrol Fighter and then use it that way. So Patrol Fighter fits in really well here. Queel draws you pretty much the whole deck minus Bazine Phase 1 and Patrol Fighter and Tech. So what is that? Maybe like 11? Yeah, 11 cards. The other 39 all draw off of Queel, so he's really solid. They generally have to answer it if they can. But Yeah, I think this list is pretty solid. It feels a lot better than you would think. Like, I've thought this would kind of be clunky having to, like, play multiple varieties, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop a thumbs up for me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace.